Today I'm here in the back corner of DC Pianos, and in most piano stores, if you look into the dingy back room, that's where you'll find all the old, nasty, decrepit pianos. But that's not the case here at DC Pianos. There is a back room, it's not dark and dingy, and in fact, it's where many of their better pianos are kept. Some of my favorite pianos that I've ever found at DC Pianos are sitting right here in this room, and one of my favorite pianos that I reviewed here in the past was a mahogany Steinway L. I see it right there. And one of my new favorite pianos here at DC Pianos is a Steinway L, and it's black, and I'm sitting in front of it. This is an absolutely wonderful piano. It was made in 1960, and DC Pianos has gone completely through it and restored everything that has needed to be restored. They've resprayed the harp, and it looks literally brand new. They've either re-nickeled or replaced all of the hardware, so we've got nice shiny hinges, we've got nice shiny pedals, and a nice shiny kick plate, and it also has new strings, and I believe new hammers. It definitely sounds like it. Yeah, I'd say new hammers. New strings, new hammers, original action, but like I said, new strings. They've, I believe, kept the original soundboard. Let me double check and take a look inside. Yes, that is definitely the original soundboard. It has a nice yellowed patina to it, and that is really wonderful as well. A great piano that has a great soundboard, sometimes a great piano can have a good soundboard and be very old. This one's from 1960, but it still sounds wonderful even with the original soundboard. So I'm going to be giving you guys a little bit of a demonstration of it. Now this piano isn't quite done, so there is one very small defect. I keep my reviews honest. When I find something wrong with a piano, I do tend to point it out, and this one here is very small, so I'm going to point it out. This C sharp right here tends to stick down. Now that's a very small issue. It might seem like a big thing, like, oh no, the action's broken. But actually what's wrong here is there's a the way the key works is it's a pivot, it's a lever, and when you push down on one end, this end goes down, the other end goes up and makes the action move. And in the middle, there's actually a couple of rods, and the key sits on those and it pivots on those, and in the key is what's known as a bushing. It's a little like hole that's lined with felt. And if that bushing is too tight around that pin, it will make the key be sticky, and it will make it do that. It won't want to come back up, and you can feel when you push it down, it's kind of sticky at the end. It's really gritty, and all that needs to be done is that key needs to be popped out, and it needs to have the bushing be eased. It needs to be widened up a little bit, and that's like a, I don't know, the actual procedure of easing the bushing, taking the key out and doing it is like 30 seconds, but in all it's maybe about 20 minutes to take the piano apart and take the key out. Really small thing. That's the only thing I'm actually finding that's wrong with it. But like I said, I keep my reviews honest. When I find something small that's wrong with the piano, I do want to point it out. It'll probably be fixed after I do this video, because I'll probably let them know. It's a very small thing. So without any further ado, let me review this piano and play some stuff on it. I'll play my traditional test piece on it and give you guys a sample of that. Many people have been asking me to expand upon it, and so a few days ago I messed around with it, and I'll see if I can remember what I did then, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I was working on expanding the test piece, and many people have been asking me to do that, so maybe I didn't go in the direction that you thought it should have gone, but hopefully you enjoyed it anyways. Now, as I said, this piano has been recently rebuilt, and it has had brand new strings put on it. I've said this before in a few of my videos, but when you put brand new strings on a piano, they're not used to being stretched out like that, so they want to shrink, and they tend to go out of tune. So if there's a few notes in here that sound a little bit wonky, that would be why, because it's had brand new strings on it, put on it relatively recently, and although it has been tuned several times by now, it still is, like I said, a little bit in the works. It's not quite done yet, and so it still possibly needs another tune. Speaking of tunes, let's play a new tune for you guys. I've played, there's a couple of hymns that I always play that I think a few people have gotten tired of, so let's play a different Bach piece this time. Let's play the Prelude No. 1 from Well-Tempered Clavier. It's a beautiful piece. It works so well on the piano, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I think I might make it a new test piece. So now I think it's time to talk about the action on this piano. As I mentioned earlier, I said it was a little bit heavier than the action that you might find on a brand new Steinway, and I still believe that that is a little bit true, but it works very well for music like I've just played. It's very responsive, it's very fluent, and it has a very nice feel. It's a little bit substantial. It's probably not everybody's cup of tea, but it works very well. And another thing that seems to be working pretty well is that note that I mentioned earlier when I was off camera practicing that Bach piece a little bit, and I noticed that note was sticking a little bit more than it is now. It tends to come up a little bit more frequently, especially when you have the pedal down. If you're not using the pedal, it works just fine. And that is another thing about a tight bushing. Sometimes if you just play them enough, they will kind of release themselves and start working a little bit better. So like I said, not a huge thing at all. I just want to keep my reviews honest and point out any flaws that I find in a piano, and that's literally the only flaw in quotes, because it's not really a flaw. That's the only thing I found that I don't like about this piano. I love the sound of it, I love the feel of it, I love the look of it. It looks brand new. It's a really wonderful piano. DC Pianos does an awesome job with every single piano that they've rebuilt that I've played. I haven't found one yet that I didn't like, and this one is no exception. It's another one of my favorites. Like I mentioned, one of my other favorites at DC Pianos was the mahogany Steinway L that is over there in that corner, and I love that one, and I love this one. I guess I like Steinway L's a lot. I guess they're good pianos. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this review here. If you're in the area of DC Pianos, definitely come by and check them out. The people who work here are super friendly, and they have a really great selection of pianos to choose from. Whether you're looking for something like this, or you're looking for an upright, or just an oddball, quirky piano, they have it all. Definitely come here and check it out. I love coming here, and hopefully you guys love watching these videos. If you do, you might want to think about checking out my channel. I've done lots of other videos here at the shop, as well as reviews of pianos in general and other musical instruments like keyboards and organs and really anything with the keyboard attached to it. So if you guys like that, you might want to go check out my channel. If you like that, you might want to think about subscribing. If you do that, thank you very much. I guess there's a lot of things to do. I'm sorry. And if you do that, well, here's one more thing for you to do. Go check out some of my other stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.